Hello guys. This is Paula and it is, what day of the week is it? Tuesday. And I believe it's the 17th. But we are going to work on the December Traveler's Notebook that I'm a designer for now for the next few months. And it is made by a sweet lady named Lynette, and she's with Chic. I will link her below this video. She's a great person. She makes beautiful journals. They're traveler's notebooks that you can purchase once a month. There's no subscription, so you can just do it at your leisure, purchase ones you like, and so forth. Now, she also includes a lot of goodies for you to use to work on in your journal. So we're going to recap what we did in the last one. So we put the little hearts that she always provides, 4 little hearts for you to put on the strings. And she always provides a bookmark that she makes from beads. How cute, right? And you just slip that in your book and it just keeps your place. And so she provides a bunch of goodies. So, and you can use stuff from your own stash if you want to. Okay, so this is the first thing I did. I took a large doily that was in the kit and I inked around it. Lynette had done this in the November kit, and I thought it was really cute. She had done, not the center page, but she had done some pages, and it just was very cute. So Lynette, I copied you in a way, because I thought it was so cute. And I really wanted this center section to stand out. I just think it's so cute. All right, and I titled it the Wonder Winner, okay, and added some shiny little snowflakes. Okay, that was the first one I did. And then I did this page here where I added some more of that vintage Christmas wrapping paper that I got. And I put on this gray bag, which will flip out, okay, and made a tag out of my stash. Used some of the fibers that she includes in the kit. And then I had this in my stash as well. It says, "Get cozy." How much more perfect could that have been? Okay, and then I added some fibers to the top of that from the kit. And this was a bag that she had included, but I decided I wanted to put this on here as a pocket. How cute are these little snowmen? And so I made a pocket here and did some doodling around the outside. And then we have all this great journaling space here. Now, she also included this envelope with a window. And she had made a cool little package that you could do what you wanted with. And I decided it looked perfect inside of here, like a shaker card. Let me show you what I mean. See, it all moves around. But instead of putting it in a pocket, I decided to clip it on the side of my page. And I just lost my paper clip. So I'll have to, oh, there it is, right there in front of my face. So I clipped it on this direction. And that's where it's going to stay. I like the way that looks. So when you flip over, you do have this on the other side here. But that is fine with me because I'm going to add this snowflake paper right there. And I think it will end up looking really cute. So let me get my ink out. I can't remember. Am I inking or not inking? You know, I forget. I think I am not. Yeah, I am inking. I didn't ink the paper bag or the snowman and Mr. and Mrs. Snowman, but I am using an ink I like to do with blue. It's called Ice Spruce. It actually is like a green, but it looks blue. Okay, now I'm inking this just to put over that stripe because I want to cover that up. Now, I'm also doing it because I don't really plan on doing anything to this page right here. Of course, I haven't really made a lot of plans, so I'm going to use my Fiber Tack or Fix or Tack, whichever you have. And I'm just going to glue that down real quick before I forget to do that. I thought about doing that after the last video, so I want it to complete that. So here we go. We're just going to line it up. I cut it 8.5 inches by like a 1 1/4. However wide your paper bag is, maybe with just a little extra. And then that just kind of takes care of the bag being on that side, which is so much easier than adding washi tape when you just fold it around like that. So I prefer that if it's a situation that I can do that. That's what I prefer to do. Okay, so see, this is that pretty blue tinted paper that she put in the kit. I love it. And then I just did the ink on the back of that doily that is decorative that was included in the kit. And then you've got this pretty stationery right here. So there's a lot of blue going on in my kit, which is the colors that I want to use as a theme in this kit. So we're going to go back and see. There was another page, another couple of pages I wanted to do some things. Okay, so over here, I decided to do both the doily pages first because I just did, because I like them. And she put this cool paper here. Look how nice that looks. And so I did ink the back of this with some blue, which was broken china. And so here is another part of the stationery paper. So I thought, since we're in this area right here, we'd go ahead and do something to this. I looked in my scraps and I found this blue that was real close to the same. And I thought, how about we do a pocket right here on this page. And just going to mark it right there. And I'm going to get my trimmer so we can trim it out and make a pocket. Let's see. Now if I can find my little mark I made. Now, let's see if we want to trim more or if that's the right amount. I have to do it like this because I think that's a tall pocket. I'm going to trim it down a little bit in height. Okay, that's better. So I'll do it like this, but I'm thinking it'd look good with some kind of trim on it. What do you think? Well, no, I had decided that it might look cute with this little Let It Snow card that I found in my stash. And I added these little penguins from the last kit, the November kit. I added them on here as part of my stash now. So if you want this to be a little hidden pocket, you could just leave the top portion open and just glue around the outside, which I think is what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here around the outside. I may not put anything in it yet but it's there if I want to use it, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and make sure I've got the pocket in the right direction. I do, so I'm just going to center this the best I can. And I think it'll look cute on this pocket. I'm going to have to add some snowmen to this book because it just needs it, right? Other than the stamped ones, I think it needs some dimensional snowmen. We may have to do that as soon as we decide there's a page that warrants a snowman. I'm just barely putting any on there. I might be going over it, but I'm just barely letting any out. You know how I always have issues with that. Okay, let's just line it up with the stationery paper right here on this side. I want to make sure it all seals nicely around the outsides of the pocket. I want to make sure there's not any glue outside of your pocket that can stick to another page. Always double check it. Okay, so there's the pocket. Now Lynette stamped on one of the tags, which I think looks really cute. And it has the little penguins, so that's why I added those little penguins right there. Now, I am going to ink around the outside with my iced spruce. And I'm trying to think, what kind of topper do we want to put on here? Looks like I got something on my tag right there, which is a bummer. So let's look at our fibers and see what color would look good. I'm over here. I've got a box of goodies, and I'm just going through those to look for some fibers that would look good on the top of this. Now, she's put all kinds of goodies in there. Let's see. We've got this fiber here, which is kind of fun. Let's cut some of this off. It's kind of navy and cream colored, and I like that. So we're going to use that on here, and I'm just going to pull it in and tie it. You know, I do all kinds of tops, but I when they're thin like this, I just tie them on. That kind of gives it a little texture too. If you tie them, kind of have that little knot going on right there. And then when this dries, we'll put it in our pocket. Okay. All right. So that part is done. And that was simple. Simple, simple. I have this envelope here. And I haven't decided yet, but I know I want to use it in something. But I thought we would move on over to the very front page. Okay. Now, because I'm doing kind of all blue in the book, I want to cover this, which I love the stitching like that. I love that it shows. It's just that I don't want the brown this time. So I cut out an 8.5 by 4.5 inch piece of a magazine, which she uses the Ideas magazine, and this was in my kit. So I'm just going to glue that down to cover that. And I think my sleeves are going to get in the way if I'm not careful. Let me push them up. Okay. I'm going to have glue. Half of my pajamas do have glue anyway. So some of my very favorite vintage things are the Ideas books. So if you're not familiar, you need to try to get your hands on some. They are vintage. I don't think they're made anymore. I'm sure they're not. And they have a lot of good stories in them for Christmas. And I think they make them for different months. I don't know. I only purchased the Christmas and Thanksgiving ones. Or Christmas and fall. I just found a bunch the other day. They were $2 a piece, and I grabbed every one of them. Couldn't pass them up. Okay, and I got all the November and all the December ones. Okay, let's just pull this over a little bit. I want to make sure it's as straight as I can get it. Is that not beautiful? Does that speak winter to you? It does to me. I tell you, we don't see snow that heavy very often. And it's been some time since we've seen this much snow in our neck of the woods. But in Oklahoma, we usually get like mostly ice, which is what we got yesterday. Okay, so I'm going to do this. This came from the last kit too. Yo lady put that in the last kit, and so I carried it forward. And I do that with anything I can that will work. In the next kit, I always carry it over so that I have even more to play with. I'm going to mark this one too, so we can cut that off to fit on the front of my library pocket, which was included in the kit as well. Okay, I'm just kind of telling you when I can remember what's included, but you get a lot. Okay, and she gives you opportunities. If you want more, you can buy more, which I love having that opportunity. So I'm just going to trim this top little piece that's round. I'm just kind of trimming a little bit of that off because I'm going to use two different papers on my library card, because see, this isn't quite big enough, but it is that deep blue that you see down inside there. That's how I kind of go and look and see what will work on each paper, you know, each color. If it's the right color, I use it. Okay, so I'm going to add this on the front of this pocket. I do have some silver paper that I had in my scraps from a book I just made. And I made a really pretty winter journal. So watch for the flip through on that and you'll get to see it. And I had a little bit of silver left, so I just kind of thought, oh, well, I'll just cover that, because I was, you know, digging around in my scraps. So I'm covering this little library pocket here, because I don't like to just stick them on my books white or cream or manila, depending on what type you have. All right, I'm going to take the card out for now. Now, I know I grabbed a couple other things I thought might work. Here is the silver I'm going to put at the top, because it just, I'm wondering, do I want that big a piece, though? I don't think so. And it looks like it's a little short. Let me see if I have more of that. If I do, it would be in my other box. Let me grab it. You know, because I like things to be even, if I can. So I have two boxes that I work out of. This one, I have all my papers in. And I'm going to look and see if I have more silver. I do. Look here. So this was scraps, like I told you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this and I didn't measure that one before. It just looked like it would be the right size. So I'm going to cut this in half. Let's just say, let's make it, it's 1.5 inches wide. So let's just make it 3/4. And that should be wide enough. Oh, and it moved. Don't you love it when that happens? Oh my goodness. So maybe we'll do 1/2 inch. I didn't hold it down well enough is what the problem is. And it, you know, my blade is about had it. So I need to put a new blade in. Do you guys just procrastinate when it comes to changing your blade? I do. It's like, I just take forever trying to decide, you know. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I definitely need to trim this fuzzy stuff off because it's, it'll look yucky. And I'm just trimming along the bottom. Now, it is making my thing a little crooked now, so I got to be more careful how close I trim. Okay, so now we're going to do right here along this top where we have right there, and hopefully I can cut a little straight line. Move that out of the way. It's kind of blocking my area here. Let's move this back down here where we can see what we're doing. Okay, I am going to ink that portion that you'll be able to see on top. Okay, now I'm going to add my glue. I'm just adding a little bit of Fabri-Tac on here. Okay. I'm just going to line it up to cover this part that's missing. Yeah. There we go. Looks like I got my silver a little bit long on this one side. So I'll trim it. I'm taking the sticky off, or the cover for the sticky off. I'm going to ink this portion up here. And I'm going to go ahead and trim that little extra off and ink it. I'm going to ink around my pocket now because you can see it a little bit. Okay, now it has this nice sticky on it. And it's sticking out from here more than it's sticking out from here, but that's just the way it's made. There's not really anything we can do about that. I like to bring my pocket up a little higher. Now, I'm not centering it down in here. That way it doesn't make my book as bulky. So I think we need to do something with this. We're going to ink it first of all, because you can write on the front and the back of this library card. I like to put my name in that area and the date and so forth. Do this side over here too. Okay, so that will go in there without any problem. Now, I thought we might do something up here. I do have this cool looking bird. So I got into all my fussy cut birds because I do fussy cut birds and butterflies and flowers for different books and so forth, and projects. So I thought I would put him on here. Yeah, I like the way that looked. So I'm going to use my glue stick on this. Okay. I'm always pretty careful. I start from the middle and pull out when there's little sections that need to be inked or glued. Now, I'm just pretending that he is flying towards the icy tree, but really, who knows? And he's probably a summertime bird. I'm not going by what kind of bird he is. I'm not even positive if he's a seagull or what he is. But that doesn't bug me. I'm not worried about that. Okay, I'm just color scheming here. So there's how this turned out. Now, whenever I write in my pages, I always try to match the ink to whatever I'm doing. I'm looking here thinking, is there anything else we want to add to this page? And I'm going to show you what my little box looks like, just so you know. See, it has all my goodies in it. And then I have the big square one that holds papers and so forth. And I need to look in it and see if there's anything in it that we might want to use. Let me look just a moment. I'm not going to pull it up here because it's super full of stuff. And I'm going to pull out, if I can get my hands on it, I'm going to pull out a couple pages and just see what's on here. So we have a dictionary page, which is fun. We have some book pages. This is from an idea book. That's a cool poem right there. And that's Christmassy. So, but this is a poem about Christmas. So I'm going to pass on using that in this book because it is past Christmas time, right? And so I'll look and see what else we have. Just a moment. We have some Edith Holden. But that doesn't, it has a nest here. But I think we're going to do something different. This is for March, so it is, spring is coming. So I'm going to wait on that. Here is another one I want to use in the book somewhere. And that came from my stash. Okay. I love snow pictures. So I want to find a page that I can put that, where I can put that is like 2 pages together. So I'm trying to decide here exactly where I want it. This has a blue tint on that page there. I think that the one I want to use is toward the front here. It's not that one. Where did it go? Right. Nope, that's not it. Where did it go? Well, maybe. That is so crazy. Where did it go? I know it's not that because I wanted to keep this blue. But I could just put half of it on this page. And that's crazy. Do you ever? Oh, there it is right there. It wasn't even in the front portion. I'm going to clip this open. I'm going to move that envelope. I'm going to clip this open so we can keep it where we can see what we're doing a little better. Now, I have no plans for this page like I did the others, except I want to put this church. I love this church, and I want to put it on here somewhere. So, let's see. I'm trying to clear out some space. Now, I might even do it like, I don't want to do it dead center because my church will be, I think I want to put the whole thing. So what I'm going to, as much as I can, so I'm going to pull it to the left and then I'm going to leave a section where I can, let's make sure we've got it lined up at the top. So we know it's 8.5. Okay, so I'm going to cut that down to, I'm going to cut it down to 8.5. Now I'm going to trim some off the top so I can have it be exactly like I want it to, exactly the right size. I just didn't want a bunch of sky and no snow. So I'm going to see at 8.5 where we're going to end up. Right there is perfect. Okay. So we're going to do like this. But I want my, like I said, I want my church over on the left-hand side. And so I'm going to line that up. Unclip this for a minute. Line up the top. And I'm going to kind of crease it where the inside of the, where the crease is in the book. That way when you glue it down, it'll be a little easier. So I'm going to put glue on the left page is how I'm going to start. So I'm going to use Fabri-Tac and I'm going to put it starting here, just not in the binding, but just to the side of the binding, right there. And I'm just going to go like this, go around the outside edges with your Fabri-Tac so you get the edge of the paper. Do it here on the top. And you want to be, you don't want to put a whole lot when you're around the edges, but just enough that your edges will stay down. So if you know that perfect amount, do it, because I never do. And I'm going to go over here on this side and just do a little bit until I know exactly how much I need. So I'm just doing a little bit right there. So we're going to start by adding the left side down first. Okay. Now, I'm going to line it up here at the bottom. Keep everything up until you get to everything lined up here nicely. Kind of like when you put down, you know how it is when you put down shelf paper, contact paper. Oh, nightmare. So I'm kind of pushing here where I know I put glue. And then I'm going to go over and do the same thing right here, pushing where I know I have glue. Now, we know for a fact that we've got some here that has to be glued down. So that's what we're going to do. I'm kind of bending my book so I have the crease where I want it. And now I'm going to add to the actual paper. One strip underneath here, and then the rest of it's going to go to the actual paper. Okay. All right. Now, we do have this little space right here. I'm not going to be concerned with that. Let's see how. Yeah, see, that page was just in the book a little lower, which is not a big deal. I do the very same thing with my books. I don't worry because it is a junk journal. Now, I'm going to trim that piece of paper that's hanging off. It's just a tiny bit, but I don't want the glue that's on there sticking to something. So I'm just trimming a tiny little bit. Just the portion that's hanging off. Yeah, right there. Perfect. Now, you're probably thinking, what are we going to do with this? Well, I don't know. I'm thinking I might leave it for journaling down the side here, because I love this picture, and I've been hanging on to it. I've been hoarding it. And just more or less, I have these trims. I have this snow trim. I wonder if it's long enough. It is. I got these at Creative Memories, so you can go to creativememories.com and order them if you like them. They have, I'm going to show you the different ones. They're $9.50, and I don't know how many's inside here. Let me see if it tells me. It doesn't. I think there's like 2 of each. So, I'm going to pull it out. I like the trees a lot, which I plan on using. Trying to get this out, and of course it doesn't want to come out easy. So I'm going to have to nip my little bag a little bit. I didn't want to do that. But you do what you got to do, right? Okay, now I'm going to pull it out. Not all the way, because, you know, I'm going to pull this plastic out, though. Because, not plastic, but cardboard. Okay, so we have this little kind of leaf pattern here. And then we have, oh, there's several that doesn't show on the package. So, yeah, we're coming out. We're going to come out with these. I'm going to scoot this over to the side so we can see. Perfect table for this. So, you should be able to see these pretty good on the table. Okay, the different ones. Look at this tree. I'm saving it for something special. I love the snowflakes. Oh, that may be what we use, is the snowflakes. And then we just have some different little ones here. Oh, here's ice. Look at the ice. And yeah, they're all different. You get one of each. So that's going to make us have to make a decision, right? So I know I don't want these. I know I'm saving my trees for the other direction. I will probably put them in this book, but it'll be with the other direction. Okay, so I'm going to lay those to the side. We're going to use the snowflakes. Now, I probably will use a glue stick too, because, yeah, see, that's nice. We're not going to have to use the whole thing. And then I can use the other portion with my Rolodex December dailies that I'm doing. So that'll be nice, right? It might be enough. We'll see. Okay, now I am using my glue stick on this because it's got such delicate little sections. Hopefully it'll go down without any problems. So I'm just going to be very gentle here, not trying to press down with my glue stick too much, because I want it to not have a bunch seeping through. It probably will anyway. And if it does, no big deal. I'll just wipe it off. That's how it does with doilies. It does the same thing when you put doilies down. But I love this. I might have to order some more of these. Would have bought a couple if I had known there was only one of each. But that's all right. Okay, so I want to turn it this other way. How perfect was this? This is perfect for this page because we have just the right space and everything for it. So look at that. And it's even coming over onto the page a little bit. Now, if you scrapbook, you know, you can use any scrapbook items to do any kind of craft, but this would be a great border on a scrapbook page too. Yes, I love that. Now, I'm thinking, do we want to do anything to kind of make it stand out a little more? Or should we be done? I think I want to be done because I don't want to bulk up the book. I had thought about putting some gems on here, but it's hanging over a little bit. So I'm just going to trim the bottom and the top. I'm not going to trim the sides. I'm going to let those snowflakes just do their own thing. Yeah. So these snowflakes do not come in the kit. They came out of my stash. I got them at Creative Memories. So I'm going to let you see what this page turns out like. Now, if you decide you want to journal on this page, that's great. I mean, I might put a picture here at the bottom if I decide to, if I have the right kind of picture for Christmas. Not Christmas, but winter. So, yeah, I love the way that turned out. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, now, let's see. Let me see how much time we have just a little bit of time if we go an hour. So I know some of you don't like to go that long, but most of my people are used to going that long. So I thought on this envelope, I'll tell you what I was thinking. I was thinking of making it a, I'm going to ink it first, obviously. And I'm going to put it down. I tucked in the flap. I tucked it inside. Trying to decide, what do I want to do with this? Well, there's a lot of things you can do with it. But what comes to my mind is like a pocket, okay? Or a place to put your, put tags. The thing is if you do tags in this pocket, you're going to want to maybe stitch between them, you know? So I'm thinking I will quickly stitch around the pocket. And I'm going to show you because I'm going to put you on camera to watch me do this. If I can get my sewing machine over here without any problems. I'm going to wipe off the tip of this so it doesn't get any harder to open. So look at the lid on this. What was Fabrifix thinking? I don't know how that's going to work. We'll see. I wasn't too happy when I saw that they had done that. So I'm going to turn on my sewing machine. We're going to use just a straight stitch. I'm going to turn it where you could see a little bit. Okay. So I'm thinking, where is the center, right? So I'm just going to kind of fold it back just enough so I can see where the center is right there. And the first thing I'm going to do is go down the center of, I've got baby blue thread in my machine. So I'm going to try to stay straight as I can. Let me back stitch a little bit. Straight is not always what I do, if you know what I mean. Now, because this is going to be like pockets, I'm going to stitch backwards, back stitch also on this top portion. Now, I could leave it just like that and be done with it, but I think I want to go around the outside. And I think it'll look cuter if we do it in cross stitch. What was I even thinking? Okay, so I enlarged it a little bit for the zigzag stitch. So I'm going to start right here. We don't have to have anything across the top necessarily, so I'm just going to start right here with my zigzag. Shouldn't take that long. My back stitch on my zigzag does not work, so I just have to tie it off. And I did it kind of a larger zigzag. So it'll stand out, plus it'll be real decorative. Now, I thought these pockets would be great for like journaling cards. I don't have journaling cards, but I thought we could do like in our next video, we could do like a collage and make journaling cards for these. We don't have time to do that right now. But we will have time in our next video to do that. So I'm thinking, why not, right? I just wanted to use the sewing machine and get this stitched before we get off of here, because you know things happen where your thread gets changed. And I knew it was the right color. Let me move my book. I'm just going to tie these off so they don't come loose. And I usually just do a double knot here. I got to go get my hair done when I get through with this video. And I have to go get my allergy shot. And that's a full day. And I need to take the winner's, the one that won the journal. I need to take, Sheila's was her name. I need to take that traveler's notebook. Well, it's like a traveler's notebook, but it measures bigger than that. Christmas giveaway I did. I need to get that to the post office, and I was going to take it yesterday, but yesterday we got ice. So nothing really happened here yesterday. So I'm going to take it to the post office today and get that out to her. And then I have to return some pants. And so there is this. And whenever we do our next video, we're going to put it right here. I like the way that looks. And then we're going to make, well, I have a couple journaling cards that I have had in my stash. Now we can kind of look and see what this is going to, and they're actually the right colors. Look at that, how they're the right colors. I wished I had another blue, but I'm kind of doing blue and kind of khaki or gray in this book. Well, maybe we'll have to make these look a little nicer. I'll leave them laying right here, and that way we'll know that's where we pick up in the next video. So let's recap. We did this front page. which I'm pleased with. I still kind of would have liked to come up with some other things, maybe snowflakes or something if we don't come up with something else. And then you can flip over here, see what we did next. Oh, we did this page. I hope this tag fits. If it doesn't, I'll have to make it a little bit smaller. Yeah, I'm going to have to trim it down. I was afraid I might have to. Wasn't sure, but we have room, so I'm not worried about that. This is not uncommon. I do this all the time. Take my tag and cut it down, make it a little thinner. Do you guys ever do that? Well, I do, and it works fine, you know. And then what I do is I just re-ink it, of course. But I also trim this up here if I want it bigger. But I think it looks fine like it is. So we're going to go ahead and fix this while we're here. Because we can. Okay. And do the back as well. All right. Now it will fit. See? How perfect. We've got room to play here. Kind of pull that up a little bit. Yeah, so there's that page. And then we're going to work on this in the next one. Then we've got this page, which I love how that turned out, you guys. And then I think we did something over here. Oh, I remember. We put this strip right here. And, yeah, so we're trucking right along in our December Traveler's Notebook, which is to use in the month of January. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Go over to Lynette's Etsy shop. I'll link it below. And watch her on YouTube. She's wonderful. And she will give you a list of all the different designers that you can go and watch, do different pages, and learn how to decorate if you're a beginner. And that part is lots of fun. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Subscribe if you haven't. Bye-bye.